Hey guys, this is Willis Rafrance, the strength and conditioning coach at BIM Fitness and Performance. And as you can see, I'm actually about to work out for myself. But before doing so, I wanted to kind of show you guys different kettlebell variations that you can implement inside of your workout program. Okay, so the very first one is going to be just a regular standard kettlebell swing. Okay. And it's done this way. So I'm going to show you first and kind of cue you throughout exactly what you should be looking for and how to actually properly perform the kettlebell swing. So the kettlebell swing is with this. So right now I'm using a 40-pound kettlebell. So with the kettlebell, I always coach to work hard. It's a hip dominant exercise, right? So a lot of people, they'll end up squatting their kettlebell. So for this one, I want you guys to ensure that you're hinging at the hips, your knees are bending slightly, and you're thrusting at the top, okay? Another question I also get is, where do your wrists stop, right? So during the kettlebell swing, some people, they'll end up going too low, okay? And then that's what forces them into that squat position, but it's really a hinge. So what I always cue is, shoot for your wrist to end right here in your groin, okay? So it's a thrust, explode, thrust, explode. You're gonna pick up the kettlebell swing, or kettlebell, from here. All right, and if you notice my neck, right, I'm keeping my neck neutral, and I'm not kinking at the bottom. So a lot of times at the bottom with the kettlebell swing, you'll see a lot of people do this actually. So at the bottom, they'll come here and swing, right? You wanna make sure your neck's staying neutral, your hips hinging, your knees are bending slightly, okay? And your weight's evenly distributed between your foot, right? So you got the big toe, pinky toe, and heel are touching the floor at all times, kind of like a tripod. The second portion of the kettlebell swing variation is a single arm kettlebell swing. So similar to the regular kettlebell swing, you're still getting the same training effect as you would doing the regular kettlebell swing, like I showed you guys earlier, but now it's unilateral, right? So what you're doing here is you're actually working yourself in the transverse plane, okay? So as you're doing this kettlebell swing, you're only holding the kettlebell, and typically you want to go lighter, right? But I mean, if you're strong, you can go heavier, right? But you're holding it with one arm. Same concept goes. Remember, you want your tripod, right? You want your big toe, pinky toe, heel always touching, knees slightly bent, make it hip dominant, except now you're holding it with one arm, okay? So a single arm kettlebell swing would look like this. So the perks of doing this single arm is now you're actually working your core, okay? Because like I said, you're working in the transverse plane. Naturally, as you're swinging, the weight wants to rotate you, right? But you have to use your stabilizing muscles, right? And your obliques and your low back muscles to stabilize yourself as soon as you get out of that rotation motion to come back up top. Remember, my neck is still neutral. I'm not kinking at the bottom. I'm pushing my hips back. I'm driving my hips at the top. My knees are bending, but very, very, very minimal, okay? And then I've got my tripod, my foundation, big toe, pinky toe, and heel on the floor at all time. All right, guys, so the last one to the kettlebell swing variation is going to be what I like to call just a short lever, or some of my clients like to call it the TRex kettlebell swing. So as I showed you before, the first one we were using the heavier weight, and of course with the single arm, we were actually letting the weight come all the way up, okay? We weren't going overhead, we were just going to about shoulder height, okay? So we were still getting the swing going on, and as you notice, my arm was getting away from me, okay? Now, if a lot of times you get someone who they're not able to do a kettlebell swing due to hip hinge mechanics or shoulder pain. Well, for my clients who have shoulder pain and they were probably here for rehab for their shoulder, when I get them to train and I'm showing them the kettlebell swing, there's different ways you can cue it so where they can still get the kettlebell swing, but also protect their shoulders. So let me show you what that looks like. Again, we still have the same cues, okay? You want your big toe, pinky toe, heel touching the ground, hips hinge, knees bent slightly. So right now it probably sounds like a broken record, but those are really the foundations to actually doing a kettlebell swing properly, okay? So you're in this position like before, okay? Now instead of coming up all the way out in front of you, okay, your elbows are tucked to your side and you're thrusting, okay? So you're still getting the same training effect that you would get from doing the regular kettlebell swing, except now you're shoulder and your scapula are packed, okay? And your hinging and your elbows is what's moving. You're not really opening up that shoulder, which is gonna keep your shoulder a little bit safer. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what it looks like from the side. Right? So the difference with this is I'm not coming out here. I'm coming here. All right, guys, so there you have it. Willis Frantz, the strength and conditioning coach here at BIM Fitness and Performance, showing you the 3 kettlebell swing variations.